Let us see overview about outsourcing. What is the outsourcing and what is outsourcing is all about, and why we need to go for outsourcing. So, as per Dave Griffiths, he states and define uh, that the outsourcing and why that outsourcing is very much important. According to Mr. Dave Griffiths, the strategic use of outside resource to perform the activities traditionally handled by internal staff and resources. Outsourcing is basically giving the work or a order to the third party, which will help the particular company to carry out the required task. So this outsourcing basically provides the services that are scalable, secure, and efficient while improving the overall services, and it will also reduce the cost. Why the reason why we need to go for outsourcing or uh, the particular company can focus on their core area. Okay, so it's basically make or buy decision. Okay, if they go for a make decision, then they cannot focus on their own on their core. Okay, when they go for a buy decision, they can concentrate on their core areas. So basically, 36 percentage why the company is going for outsourcing is uh, to focus on the core, and 36 percentage is to reduce cost, and 1 percentage is to conserve capital, 4 percentage is to foster the innovation, and 10 percentage is to increase the speed to market. So suppose when you get the product parts like a brakes, clutch, suspension, tires from the other companies, okay, you no need to go your strategy to manufacture all the individual parts to carry out the complete vehicle assembly. So hence it is also essential to increase the speed to the market, and 10 percentage of the people goes for outsourcing to increase the speed to the market and also to improve the quality, because uh, you cannot achieve the quality if this is not coming under your core area. So if the particular company where you are going to purchase, if they are good and they can achieve the quality, then basically 13% of the people they go for outsourcing basically to improve the quality. And the reasons for outsourcing is both traditional and also modern role are there with respect to the problem and also the business strategies. So we'll see the traditional role and how they react to the problem. Basically, the reason why they want to go for outsourcing is to reduce and control the cost and avoid large capital investment cost, because they need to invest. Okay, so if suppose if they manufacture the product or the part on their own, then instead of going for a buy decision, when they go for a make decision, then uh, they need to invest a lot. Okay, so basically to avoid large capital investment costs, they're going for outsourcing. And if they have insufficient resources that are available to manufacture a particular product or any service, then they also go for a insufficient resources. And then they can also go for a outsourcing. And the next important role is a modern role is basically the business strategy. This will allow the company to focus on their core competency that I told already, which 36% of the people they says that they want to focus on their core competency, keeping up with the cutting edge technologies, uh, and creating value for the organization and its customer, building the partnerships. All these reasons we are going for outsourcing. And we also have some of the problems with outsourcing, which includes the loss of control, increased cash outflow because the cash is going out. So there is again increased cash outflow. The confidentiality and security is also a problem. The selection of a supplier, okay, because if you are not good in selecting the supplier, then it will also lead to the problem. And again, we have too much dependent on the service providers, and we should not go for that. And this is also one of the problems that will be coming because of the outsourcing. And we will also loss of the staff or the moral problems because of the outsourcing. And it's again a time-consuming process. Again, this outsourcing will also ensure will make the provider such a way they may not understand the business environment, and the provider sometimes they may be slow to react to the changes in the business strategy of the company. So we'll see the problems with outsourcing with the help of a small example and a small scenario. So the scenario here is to procure uh, the computer cable that are required for the computer. So the person who is discussing with the other person, okay, he is telling that I need to order a special cable for my computer, and he's telling the other person, basically the receiver, he receives the message that uh, no, that is not a cable. That's a piece of rope. Okay. So what the person who is receiving, he understood a computer cable as a rope, and in fact the person who is ordering also telling that yes, I know it's cheaper. He also understood. He also thought that it's a rope, not a cable, and what happens next? Okay, then it was a mistake to sign an exclusive contract with a rope distributor. Then instead of signing a contract with a cable distributor, the company, the orders, the contract, or sign an agreement to a rope distributor. And instead of a electronic cable, they're going to get a rope. And finally, uh, the procurement manager is being criticized, and the company top management is telling that the procurement manager is a monkey because he signed a contractor with a rope manufacturer rather than signing a contract with a cable manufacturer. So these are the things that will lead to a problem when you're going for outsourcing. So you need to be very much careful, and you need to teach the suppliers and the stakeholders in such a way they will understand your business. And we have some of the procedures to implement outsourcing. So we need to start with a program initiation, program implementation, contract agreement, and you need to fulfill the contract. In the case of program initiations, in the case there we give the opinions and ideas are being shared to form a draft contract. And in the case of program implementation, they will be transferring the staff service level agreement between the service provider and the customer. And again, they establish the communication between the partner, supplier, and the customer, actual transfer of the service, establish the management procedures, and they go with the contract agreement, and finally they fulfill the contract. We'll see the project procurement management process and the key inputs. So I told you we need to go for a make or buy decision, which is nothing but a procurement planning. Then we go with solicitation planning, which is nothing but receiving the RFP, request for purchase, and we'll go for a solicitation, which is nothing but receiving the proposal. Then we award the contract, which is nothing but the source selection, which is nothing but supplier selection. Then we go for a contract administration, where we complete the substantial amount of work. Then we finally close the contract, which is nothing but